like neuro-electro-stimulator for driving. She has collaborated with institutions like IIT Madras, BioRec, and the National Center for Neuroscience. As the director of Current Academy, she also mentors young minds in shaping their careers. Today, she is here to share her insights on how each of you can forge your unique path in dentistry and beyond. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr.
Thank you. I don't know how it feels to you. I'm super excited, nostalgic, and euphoric to be here in my alpha mater. I'm very happy to be in such a wonderful moment. Not just a lot of because somehow I couldn't make it to the institution back then in 2000. I don't think people were born by that time. So that is the time when I left company with my BDS. So I'm here back again. And this is a very, very momentous occasion where I'm back to my alma mater to do very important things. Right? I come here to sign a collaborative agreement to the institution where I'm working with. And I'm also here to deliver lecture to you young minds here. And also to talk about discuss with the faculty. So that actually makes me feel accomplished and makes me feel very complete. This kind of satisfaction is very rare to achieve, and I want all of you to feel the same sometime later in your life. So this is how you come back to your alma mater with a purpose, and then tell what it means and your journey to the young minds later. And I think giving lectures going to in many parts of the country, in many colleges, but this is super special because this is the place which made me into what I am today. So thank you, and thank you for the organizing team to bringing me here. So to quickly start with the topic. So this is a very favorite topic of mine. I keep giving topic and lectures in many topics. So this is something which I really like to talk with the intern group. There are part 1 and part 2, part 3 in the same topic. But this is a film in this particular area. So the moment you would have seen this, all of you would have felt that there are so many blogs on this topic, right? Multiple blogs and people have kept talking about this. This is not a new topic in the blog. But what makes it different and why have I chosen this on this very special occasion? Because this comes with an added touch with my own experience in dentistry. I'm extremely passionate about dentistry. Dentistry means everything to me. I cherish every moment of being a dentist. So that is why I'm here and I'm going to talk about it. Next, so this is the outline thing. So this is something very, very important. Having completed 4 years of dental learning, what has this course done to your brains? So that is what you must be for. You have to reassure yourself, or you need to be reminded of what you have become over these 4 years. Most of us don't think in that way, and the current, the way of thinking is very different nowadays. It is not like what we were in those earlier times. The thought process has changed. Nobody will be blaming. Things evolve this way. So, as things are moving on, first thing you should know is what has happened to you in the last 4 years. So to know that you have to understand that in general, any degree, whether it is a simple basic science degree or any degree, name anything, any college degree or even a school learning, comes into these 3 domains. three domains which every course has to fulfill. But that fulfillment is more complete with dentistry only. Okay, just that line, please remember. Okay. So the next important thing is there is something called as skill. We frequently talking about skill acquisition. Upskilling is a very favorite word right now. Okay. So fortunately, or I don't know, we are really blessed. Skill-wise, the number of skills which we learn in dentistry is more than any other undergraduate course. That again is due to you. You would not talk in that way. So skill is something which you do using your musculoskeletal system in addition to your brain. Does it make sense? Which means high coded. Is it easy to understand? So that is something which is skill. The number of skill sets which you learn in dentistry is more than any other degree. Is that clear? So that is the second statement. And by doing this skill assessment, you would be passing on a series of stages of learning. For example, go back to your first year. All of you were asked to make that cubes. How many of you enjoy doing that? How many of you enjoy maybe doing that master cubes and the master triangle? There is no one, right? Nobody would have enjoyed doing that. Believe me, even that has a role to do something else. Okay? So first thing you don't like doing it, and then slowly you adapt, and then you learn. So these are phases of skill acquisition. So this is something which you must understand. Psychomotor ability means using your brain and your hands together when you do something using your psychomotor structures. Then what happens is, you tend to improve your cognitive ability. What do you mean by cognitive ability? Thinking skills. Okay, so the more you do related to psychomotor skills, your thinking skills will become better. Now please recollect the statement which was told already. The number of skill sets in dentistry is more than any other profession. Now, second statement, what am I telling? Psychomotor skills are very important for improving your thinking ability. Now, who is the best profession? Professional? Yes. So that is something which you must be reassuring yourself. Most of you, or 95% or even 99% of the gang which is sitting here, would not have taken dentistry voluntarily. Okay, you landed up here because you didn't get medicine. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, and that feeling will be there inside your hearts always. Yes or no? So I come here to break that block or break that unhealed part of you, to make you understand that you have chosen, knowingly or unknowingly, you have landed up this time to be in this particular profession. So make the best use of it. From now, having understood that this profession has very big advantages which you have not realized till now. Is that clear? So how better we are in what terms? We are having more skill sets. Is that clear? So we know that cognitive ability is increasing. Now look at that picture. All those areas of the brain are going to work better in dentist than any other profession. Is it not interesting? When you have all these parts of the brain working better, your performance will become better. Right? So that is something very, very important. Yes. So this is the advantages which you are going to have as you finish your fourth year, and then internship. These are specific areas which you have already mastered upon. Next year. So this is a very important area. So advantages of increasing the cognitive ability. What is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity means what? Ability of your brain to adapt to any situation. Okay, for example, today you think you will have to get a seat in Cambridge, Delhi. You know how much is the stipend rate? Or you need to get a seat in Maulana Azhar. How much does it pay? When you join MBS there? Some very close to 1 lakh, right? If you put that aim in your mind, you think you will achieve or not? It is possible because brain is highly plastic in nature. Plastic, nobody needs explanation. We know what plasticity means. Dentists understand the word plasticity than anybody else, right? You have done materials. So that is how it is. Imagine the softened impression material or the rubber-based material. That is how your brains are. For everyone it is that way. So you can adapt and mold it. And what I am trying to tell you is it is already super great. So this is one important thing that you should know at your stage, if it is a dental or a medical professional. If I make two people stand in front of me and if I give them some assistance, some kind of problem solving skills, a person who has completed 4 years of medicine degree and 4 years of BDS, whom do you think will do the problem solving better? Considering the statements which I told already, whom do you think will be an advantage? Definitely a dentist. Why? Because your skill sets are way ahead than a person who is doing this. None of you are looking confident, all of you are looking at me with suspicious eyes, as though I am trying to exaggerate. All these statements are based on evidences. All these statements are coming from 2.5 years of 2.5 decades of experience. We are great in problem solving. Okay. We are great in adaptability because that is the experience which the degree has given you. Knowingly or unknowingly, you have gone through that. Now that you have successfully passed. So please understand, already you are superpowers. Don't think I am exaggerating, this is the truth. This is a proven thing. If you compare your age to anything, somebody who is finished engineering and gone to IT field, somebody who is already making money, would be the most irritating person to you. There is absolutely no worries. It will take some more time to do, that's all. But please understand, you are emotionally, intellectually ahead of them. Please repeat this to yourself day in and day out. Will you do that every day morning? Please tell this statement to you. Okay. The curriculum is like that, so you are already at an age over others. Is that clear? So this is something which all of you should understand. So already all of you are superpowers. Okay. So scope of dentistry is something which I keep talking in all my induction programs. Wherever I am called to address the young, small ones who are just taking dentistry. These are a few set of slides to again reinforce what the degree is already done, is already and something what the scope is already got. Do you know that dentists are the highly paid professions in some countries? Do you know that they drive all the very expensive cars? Okay. So there is a very favorite statement. If you see a Lamborghini, it must be a dentist. In US, that is how it is. You see any swanky high-end bike, the costliest car in US and United States, most of the times it will be a dentist. That is how it is. So I'm not trying to tell you that please go to US and UK. The same thing can happen in India also. Okay. Again, all the suspicious eyes I think. I'll tell you how it will happen. Okay. So still there is huge scope and the number of dentists per population is still very much lower. The problem of inequality and there is a false appearance of less scope of dentistry is because of improper distribution of dentists. Most of the dentists are stopped in the cities. That is the problem and that is why it looks like the dentist population lesser or we don't have scope. But the problem is we're not equally distributed. So how can this be addressed? How can this be addressed? By a simple policy decision by the BCI to convey to the government that every PHC should have a dentist. That simple decision, if the government takes just one order, okay, we'll be short of dentists. All of us will be having a government job. That sounds good because less work, more pay. So that kind of possibility is happening, is in the pipeline. Government has realized that because oral health is very, very important for overall health. Please understand that statement also. Anywhere, if you are standing in front of a basic crowd, keep repeating this one statement. If you have to keep your body holistically healthy, first thing is you have to take care of your health and oral health. So without oral health being maintained properly, your overall health will be in very, very bad conditions. So that is where we are saviors of the entry port of the body, and this is the entry port which showcases everything what the person is all about. So you open your mouth, I can tell you what person you are. Right? Can't we take like that? The moment you see a mouth, you can write a story about the person. You don't even have to know whether it's male or female. Can you identify or not? Easily you can identify. At this stage, yes. So that is why it is very important, and that confidence should be public inside you everywhere. Whenever you are in a forum, please put out this level of confidence, throw this level of energy to everyone who you are standing in front of. So that's very important. Next. Challenges faced is again inequality and improper policy decisions. And awareness again is very, very important. People are not aware. So that is why you have to spread the awareness that oral health is very, very important. But that is slowly catching up. People are beginning to understand. But again, with proper policies, things will turn around in favor of dentistry in India anytime. It is not very far. So please be super confident, not confident, super confident about your profession. The next important thing is, are you utilizing yourself properly? I can see all in abstract space. First thing is, sit in proper posture. As you sit in proper posture, that is the first step which you can do to align with the physical forces of the universe. The moment you align properly with the universe, whatever you think you can manifest, whatever you want to be, you will achieve. Because manifestation will automatically happen. So, after straight up, 100% it will happen, because as you keep sitting and positioning yourself in proper axis of the universe, what happens is your brain will start functioning in its best possible manner. Okay? So these are small steps which I have experienced in life, so I am sharing it with you. Next. And the next important thing is, you should be very, very happy. I can see very sad faces. You should keep smiling always. Why? Because already you have been blessed. Okay, but I can see faces. Never give a dull moment in your life. It is not worth it. Okay, you are only wasting your potential. Please understand, every moment is to celebrate, and every moment is to bring out the best in you. Nature has already sent a gifted missionary. If something is not happy, you are not utilizing it properly. It is absolutely you and your ability that if you want to utilize, it will really perform well. Okay, it starts with that simple sitting straight. And there are multiple other factors also when you take care of your body. So everything, if it is in proper place, then you will definitely do well. So this is what all of you can see it actually. Okay, so this, did I do this shading like this in 2000 when I passed out? I was very clear as what I wanted to do. That clarity was there 2 decades back. That clarity is not there now. Again, you are not to be blamed. The problem is with the technological advancements. It keeps throwing you enormous opportunities. So there is always a state of confusion. And I am here to quickly address how I am going to handle this. Okay. So the first thing that you have to know about is protein options in dentistry. I can't skip this because in the community, that's why. So this is a regular track of taking what after BDS. So routine options after BDS automatically would be doing a post-graduation course. How many of you are interested in spending 3-4 years in reading dentistry? Again, I am not surprised. This trend is there in the recent times. Okay, so this is how we see it's around 25 to 30% of the students only want to go for post-graduation. And again, I am in a responsible position now to tell you the advantages of doing a specialty. Okay. It is very irritating that you have to spend more of your life, precious time. You do understand, but please understand, as you specialize in your profession, the respect which you claim is definitely more because confidence levels. And whenever you go, even if you're not going abroad, if you go with an MDS degree, the way people will look at you will be slightly different because that's the advantage which you are taking. And please understand, nothing goes for waste. 4 years of professional degree has its own advantage. Another 3 years will definitely give its own advantage. It will not be a waste. The moment I say this, immediately you know what people say, and we are seeing what MBS people are doing. I can hear that my voice from your brains also. If you see a underperforming MBS, that means what is the problem? What is the problem? They are not utilizing the gifted visionary. Already nature has given them 2 big options, previous MBS. Even then, if you see MBS not going well, then something is wrong with their ability. You don't have to take that as an example. Okay? So, doing a postgraduate degree is strengthening your specialty. The more you are enhancing yourself on a specific degree, it definitely has its advantages. The other options, the routine options are getting a government job after you finish your BDS. Now, we know that the MRB exams are open. All of you? Okay. It might happen every year. It hasn't happened regularly, but it might happen. Again, going back to the statement which I said, government policies can open any time. Then people will dentists will be appointed every PHC. Nowadays we have only the main PHCs having dentists. But every PHC, if it has a dentist, then MRBs will be happening every year. So recruitments will be happening every year. So that is one job which is going to happen and you can also apply. The other routine options which I find people are taking very frequently are doing a public health degree to get into a country. Do you really love doing public health course or is it the way to enter into the country? Most of the times, very rarely people are very fascinated by MBH course, but they don't mind spending that 15 to 20 lakhs amount to get into the country as a lateral entry. Okay, how many of you want to do that? I know there will be some inside, but purposely you are not lifting your hands. Those who have it as a thought, please understand, getting an MPH degree, spending that 20 lakhs, only if you go inside the process, you know how tough it is. Foreign universities will not give you degrees that easily. There is a very grinding level of work which you have to perform to get that degree. I tell my students that effort which you are going to do it in a foreign country, spending so much amount, put that you will easily get a good needs. Okay? So MPH, still if it's fascinating, please take it. But understand, comparatively, going to the routine way is better. Again, coming back to MPH, suppose if you are very particular that you have have to go, yes, go ahead. But MPH will not get you a proper job. You know that? So even in that case, still you can survive with MPH by doing the best in that particular university. Just giving your best, automatically you will be identified as the best person in that particular category. So whichever you do, that will be a very big advantage. And again, practicing overseas is very interestingly possible. Having said about Lamborghini and swanky cars, all of you would like knowing that. But if all of you know that it is not easy, you have to clear licensing exams. How successful or what is the passing percentage in licensing exams? Licensing exams? It's not easy again. Again, that effort which you are going to put for clearing your licensing exams, same amount of effort if you put for me, that itself is good enough. Clear, meet and take the attention. This is the overview of routine options. So other options after BDS is something which main things which I want to tell you. Again, in this, all of you would be familiar with this, but I purposely categorized into two divisions in this. There are some options which require training and some options which do not require training, which gives you a placement directly without training. So that is the first one which I will be talking about. Options without additional training is what you need to know. Yeah. Have you heard of medical transcription? All of you? Okay. So earlier medical transcription companies were based on cities, only larger cities. But now after COVID, transcription opportunities are available in all the cities, all towns, because you can work from home. Okay. The medical transcription, again, you can join immediately. They will give you a company-based training initially. You don't have to train and then go. Join and then get trained. This will give you good work from home options. And again, this job will suit those who like to listen. Now itself, I will tell you, in this particular crowd, many of you do not have that listening skills. Yes or no? There are some people who have already started sleeping. Will that person be eligible for medical transcription? Definitely no. That degree is not for you. Because your ear sense, this is not very strong for you. For you, there is something else. Some other visual sense or some other sense is more stronger in your basic body mechanism. So that is how you identify which will suit you the best. So we usually put the students onto psychometric testing because every individual is different. We identify which would suit the person in the best way. So medical transcription, I have done it myself. I found it very difficult because I can listen, but it needed very intense listening. My brain was not that patient. You keep on listening and then you transcribe. Okay, so I left that job after doing that job for 1 year. Okay, instead of making a trial and error basis, if you can take up the psychometric testing and then enroll, then it will be a more smarter way to identify which other jobs will suit you the best. So if you are a person who will sleep during lecture classes, don't take medical classes. Okay. If you are a person who loves listening to others, you can try medical transcription as a side hustle. What do you mean by side hustle? Side hustle. Original job as your specialty and then keep something as an additional income. Do it for 2 to 3 hours or 4 hours from companies area. So those are something which you can develop and do. And please understand, all these are available in the net. First thing is create your LinkedIn profile. I was told by your faculty members that all of you have a LinkedIn profile. Improve your profile and you will get this kind of jobs. Just post in your job address, make a transcription, you will get a job easily. because there are huge opportunities available in this area. But I would not recommend you to take a full-time medical transcription, but because after some time, even if it's going to pay you well, it might be boring to you. Even if you are a good listener, it will not satisfy your soul. Because same thing I've experienced, so just keep it as a part-time. Is that clear? Okay, next thing is insurance. All of you know that dentists are doing extraordinarily well in insurance companies. Have you heard people doing insurance jobs? And this again, the offices are all based in bigger cities. What can you do if you are from a smaller town? Please apply for online jobs. Work from home. I've seen many dentists doing work from home options for insurance companies. This also gives a good pay package. This again, they will take you, give the job, and then give 2 to 3 months training. Because you need to know what they are expecting, right? And this also gives a good package. Same thing, I would recommend this as a part-time. But compared to medical transcription, insurance will give you more satisfaction because you are the one who is going to sign the insurance report as so much of money is to be given to this particular patient who has sent you a claim. So there are many of my students who are doing insurance, working in insurance companies, and many have become regional heads. And one of them has become a country head as well in a particular company. Okay, so that kind of scope is there with insurance. Opportunities are enormous. People want dentists because healthcare insurance, you know how big the market is. Numbers are more, manpower is required. Okay. So please look at for insurance jobs, you will definitely get a job. But again, my recommendation is to use it part-time. The next part is publishing industry. After this lecture, please type my name in the internet and then see how many books I have published. With that experience of working along with publishers, international publishers, not the local, even the national ones, international publishers, I know how the publishing industry works. Okay. So if I'm starting to write a book, what happens is if I write a chapter, that chapter will go for evaluation. They don't just print it. It has to be written by another person. That person has to be a subject matter expert. What do you mean by subject matter expert? Somebody who knows the subject. The subject matter expert has to be that only when he or she approves when it goes to English language correction. So this is the sequence. Okay, so subject matter experts, who are subject matter experts for dentistry related books? Who are the ones? Only undergraduation is more than enough to be a subject matter expert in which subject? Dentistry. Any other subject? Medicine. Any other subject? Allied health sciences. All allied health sciences books, you can be a subject matter expert. Can you work in? You know the subject, right? So easily publishing industry you can get a job. But again, I recommend you to take up which kind of job? A part-time job. And again, all these are work from home options. Very, very helpful. Next. Junior residents, have you heard this? It keeps coming on and off. So this again depends on how good your profile is. If I have to select you as a resident, what will I see in you? Someone who keeps smiling always. Because I need positive people. Okay, someone who's like, will I do a job? Definitely no. I want someone who is exuberant with energy. That is the person whom I grab and I keep him, right? I want positively productive people and not someone who will sleep while talking. So that is the need for someone who is lazy. So that kind of preferences are very, very important. So you will have to be that kind of chirpy, bubbly person. That should be reflecting in your LinkedIn profile. Can you make it like that? It is easily possible. Okay. Even if you are not one, become one. Okay. It is only for your good. Okay. So this is something which is based on your attitude. Next. So these are other options with additional training. Believe me, this is again a good set of interesting options. Next. So this again, clinical and experimental research technology based companies are wanting healthcare professionals to join their company to do what? Research, not only research, research will be done by basic scientists. You are considered as a clinician. You will be the interface between the basic research and the patient. So that interface needs healthcare professionals who are either having a medical or a dental degree. Is that clear? Because we are the only 2 3 people who have that contact with the patients. And of course the Ayush group also are being pulled into these kind of jobs. But imagine an Ayush graduate is there. There is an interview. An Ayush graduate is there. A dentist is there. Who will the company CEO prefer? Obviously a dentist. Because again, what are the advantages? You have precision. You have no problem solving skills. Your visual, spatial communication is better. Characteristics is better. You have undergone a rigorous training. So definitely they will prefer you rather than other degrees. So that's the advantage. So you will get a job. But for this, apply for this, it is better to take some online courses of basics and research. Now you have SWAM NPTEL courses. Just a small course at least. It's better to take and then apply for these courses. That will give you the edge over others. And this also is very, very satisfying. These are some things which they won't allow for part-time. So you will have to go for full-time jobs. Next. Clinical trials. What's clinical trial? That is a medicine. Okay, so let us take COVID as an example. Some medicine for COVID. It has passed the basic trials and all that thing. And now it has to go for a larger trial. To run a larger trial, they need healthcare workers again. People who have had the experience of handling patients. Clinical trial is something which has got huge scope. Pharma industry is a very big industry which will constantly keep producing newer drugs, which has to be validated by multiple trials. Always there is wanting. There is always jobs open. So please check if you are interested. It pays very well. It really pays very well. But again, to become a clinical trial specialist, you have to have at least small online courses. Some small online course on clinical trials if you can take it. That you can do during your internship itself. Do an online course maybe. Don't waste time. Next. Hospital admin is something again very, very favorable for dentists. For this, you will have to do an online hospital admin course. And the best thing to do is, as far as hospital administration is concerned, very high reputed institutions run hospital administration courses. The best I would recommend is from Ms. Lani. It runs online courses. And there is one from Apollo Group also. So pick up some courses if you are interested in hospital administration. Take up some courses from reputed institutions and do it online. Don't do an offline program that's waste of time. Is it clear? Because you already have a power-packed degree in your hands. Nobody will want you to go for a full-time degree and then come back. No. You just have an online degree. That's an add-on. That is enough. Because this is just a small add-on which the hospital will want from you. And this again has a constant demand always. There will be openings always, and people love to take dentists for this job. So please use this opportunity again. Yes. This is again something which all of you know. We are slowly taking out a very important chunk from the part from the dermatologist. So in Solitara we have hair transplant learning in undergraduation itself. They are taught hair transplantation during previous days itself. So you too also want to do hair transplant. If you like doing it, get it. Okay. If you love having a good skin, if that fascinates you, just get trained and then start doing it. Again, this industry is booming because everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to have a nice Instagram face. Of course, that can be achieved by good makeup also, but still nothing like natural, right? That wanting to do good and better is there inherently in every human. So that is a huge market by itself. And all these beauty salons and bigger chain of beauty salons, the bigger ones, they are all hiring dentists especially, who are trained in cosmetic therapy. This again has a huge scope. But everything what I am trying to tell you is all if it really interests you only. Okay? Just here to tell you the options. This is something which nobody tells much. Any comment on the fertility rates currently? Good or bad? It is in a very bad state right now. The fertility rates are on a very steep decline, not slow decline, steep decline. Rates are just falling like a pack of cards. Why? Because that's again the damage which we are doing for ourselves. Okay? Everything is what we are doing to ourselves. We feed our beautiful body by trash. It's like pouring kerosene for a Lamborghini again. Lamborghini might be kerosene to bring it but you do it for your body. So that is why this problem comes anyway. Leave it. Now we are looking from a job perspective. This is a booming industry. Okay. There are fertility centers mushrooming in every small towns and bigger cities every year and there. Why? Because the numbers are really increasing. Every fertility center knows it is going to get back the investment. Investment runs anywhere between 1 crore rupees to run a fertility, basic fertility center, to set up a fertility center. The investment is 1 crore minimum. But you know how quickly they are getting back? Within 2 years. This is the experience which I am telling because my own sister, my blood sister, runs a fertility clinic. Okay, I sent my PGs for training. For what? Becoming an embryologist as a side hustle only. You can just go, if there is a case, they call you. All you have to do is look under the microscope. Have you seen under the microscope or not? Have you used microscope? Right from first year, histology, you know how a cell will look like, right? You have seen slides, test pathology, right? Genetic pathology, then bone pathology. You know how to look in the microscope, right? That skill is enough to be trained as an embryologist. So what you need to do is just check the quality of the ovum and the sperm. For that they pay lots of money. Sounds interesting, right? Very, very easy. Just requires few months of training and a hefty package. But this is again, keep it as part. Otherwise, you can do consultation for this. Keep hopping to multiple fertility centers in and around your place because there are many to explore. Once you establish your name, this is one thing which can really make good money. Okay, and you just have to go see yes, no, yes, no. Next. Sample. Who is going to take care of the procedure? Chiropractors will do. Quality check is what the embryologist does. Believe me, you can do it very, very easy because your party is already trained. Now tell me, this is something which I have never spoken in my career readiness workshops, but I thought I should tell something special for all of you here. What do we do? What do we have to do? Is there any connect between food and beverage industry and dentistry? Food and beverage okay, so that's the magic of okay. Why? Because that's a basic requirement for any human being. Why human being? Any living animal or anything? Food or being? Okay. Then we'll see who is answering this question. Food and beverage industry, we have an important connect. Right? Okay, this is a very informal discussion. Please tell me. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Diet plays an important role in oral health. That is the connect she says. And food and beverage industry again. Yes. So this is a very interesting area where we run a course called Taste Mastery. That Anyway, so a five-star Michelin chef is good in what? He is good at making the flavor combinations. He or she is good at flavor combinations. They can never match us if you understand that physiology of taste properly. Why? It is only we who can understand the connection between the receptor and the myoreceptors, not the medical professionals, not the five-star chef. So we are there in between. Okay, so very big industry by itself. If you master the art of tasting with science put together, it's just a 4 days simple understanding. If you do that, what can you become? Make a very interesting statement. Have you heard of something called as wine tasting? I'm a teetotaler, for example. I'm a teetotaler, so don't get me wrong. So wine tasting is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You know that? Okay, forget about wine tasting. Coffee tasting.
We had one guy called Diversified. Completed recently. He was into football. And he was a tea taste.
Please follow for discussion. I can also come into that session. Very, very important. So, do you need dentistry to become a tea taster? You have not known the connect. That is why. You are being fixed. I don't know whether he knowingly or unknowingly he has taken this profession, but somehow something has driven him to this profession. Okay, so that is the secret which you have to decode. Okay, it's a beautiful industry by itself. All you need to do is just be mindful, understand, be calm. There are very small, quick tips to become a taste master. You have to be in the present. Now, can you go back to that sitting straight? All of you have already gone back to that. Okay, once you are in your best possible alignment, all these come super easy. All that you need to do is somebody is giving the food, taste, and then become a master. That doesn't mean extra taste buds, nothing. It's just allowing the brain to identify. Okay. Identification, once you're doing it, you have to be razor sharp, razor focused onto that alone. You become a taste. Next. Okay. So whichever profession you are choosing, again there are so many things, I can't keep you boring you again. There's a very big list, unending list. But what I have not touched upon today is psychometric testing has to be taken for you to understand all. If you're taking other options in dentistry, you have to take a psychometric testing. Because don't waste time without doing it, don't take the trial and error method. Now, whatever options you are taking, please follow the 3 C's. These are the 3 C's which you should follow. Whatever you take. Okay? Even if you're completely taking the newer option which is not mentioned here, doesn't matter. These 3 C's, if you can follow, you will become super successful. Okay. So the first point here is curiosity. Curiosity should always be there. Be curious to find out if there is something new. That's very, very important. That will keep giving you so many ideas, so many things. Today in faculty presentation, there was a question of how to identify gaps in research areas. Research area gap, daily day-to-day activity. There are so many things which can be made better, right? Right from the chair which you are sitting. Okay. Is it keeping you straight, erect? Imagine if there was a chair which will make you sit erect. That itself is an innovation. Dentistry is fraught with innovation because every small instrument, your mouth mirror, and you know how many endless list of instruments you have. Everything can be made better. Right? So that is how it is. Be curious in everything you do. And the next important thing is conviction. Whatever you do, just give your full thing. Commitment again. Just give it your all. Be very, very dedicated. Anything you do, you will become the best and you will automatically shine out of the crowd. Next. I thank management, MD and Pranav sir and Sai sir who have given me this wonderful opportunity. Next, I thank my cooperation, and they just give this permission to go and talk to our clients. And thank you so much for patient listening. I'm open for any questions. Any questions related to dentistry, of dentistry, on dentistry, any questions?
See, use this opportunity to enlighten yourself. Last month, I had something regarding what all programs we can achieve. And I assured them that a program like this caliber, if possible, I can give. I think this is the best I can give you. Right?
As a basic responsibility and as a token of gratitude, you can get my number from sir. And my profile is very much available on LinkedIn. Please see my profile and see then anything you can please contact me anytime. Okay? Sometimes I may not be able to take the calls because of so many job responsibilities, but I will definitely text back. I'm good at following up WhatsApp messages. So if you really want to reach out to me, try calling, but voice calls are difficult to handle because we do not know what kind of work we need. Let's just send me a WhatsApp message. Anything, I'm there to guide, please take that.